The triple overtime loss for TCU at West Virginia. We'll see how the Frogs respond to that heartbreaking defeat in Morgantown. And Texas Tech escaped Oklahoma State earlier in the week as well. Jerry Pollard, our lead official. He'll put the ball in the air, and we are ready to play in Fort Worth. TCU in the home white has the game's first possession.
And as Chris Patola mentioned in the studio, they are going up against the best defensive team in the country by efficiency.
They get it down low to Samuel. His pass deflected by Owens, and then trying to save it, Noy throws it off.
It's going to be interesting how many times you say deflected today, because Texas Tech gets their hands on a lot of passes.
Bounce it in, turning, shooting off the right side of the rim. For Quat Noy in close.
Texas Tech, Mark, it's about ball movement, cutting. They run a motion offense, random cutting, random movement.
And we know they play defense well, but the Texas Tech offense has really picked it up over their 6-game winning streak. Moretti looking for an opening, down to 3 on the shot clock, trying to feed Odiase, and Robinson deflects that steal. Here comes Bain behind the back. And TCU starting 5, including the big post player Samuel, who has it here. Miller drives, stops, leads in, and opens the scoring.
Yeah, J.D. Miller's playing his 132nd game today. He's never missed one. 4 away from tying Brandon Parrish's TCU record. Solid senior year.
He is the Iron Man for them. Odiase lost the dribble, finds it again, back for Mooney. Moretti from the corner. Came up short that time, and Miller skies for the rebound. You could see coming down the floor, Samuel wanted the lob. Noy trying to shoot over Owens, but instead Owens has his 67th block of the season.
What an addition. Mooney and Owens, that's one and done the old-fashioned way. 2 fifth-year seniors.
And there's Samuel at the other end getting his 60th block of the season. This is season 3 for Chris Beard, who, along with Bill Self, was the co-coach of the year last year. And he's certainly in the running for Coach of the Year again this year.
Yes, he is. Yep. 63 wins so far in his 3 seasons, with more basketball ahead. Last year's Elite 8, where they lost to the eventual national champions Villanova.
Kip Kissinger, Jerry Pollard there. I think they're taking a look to make sure we've got clock everything set correctly. You, by the way, have your thoughts right now with just a week left in the regular season on who's Coach of the Year, Players of the Year, etc. We'll get to that shortly.
Yeah, we will. Absolutely. Some great coaching jobs this year in the league.
Well, they're checking the clock. You see the block coming up. Should be, what, 21 shot clock? It looks like it stopped on time to me by the time that ball eventually came down.
Exactly.
30 feet, 20 feet behind the baseline.
Clock stops when the ball hits something out of bounds. That so far in this incredible race for the top of the league, where theoretically right now, Mark, 5 teams could tie for the Big 12 title, including Baylor, who will tip off later tonight with K-State. Kansas has held serve today.
Barely.
Barely. By squeaking out a win in Stillwater.
How about a week ago, they go into Lubbock and get absolutely walloped. And then you're thinking, here comes Oklahoma State, and Texas Tech should have no problem with them in Lubbock. And they had to go to overtime to win that game. And then Oklahoma State darn near beat Kansas in Stillwater, which wouldn't have been that huge of a surprise because Bill Self's team has had some issues there over the years. So Kansas has won. Texas won today over Iowa State. Oklahoma's just posted a win over West Virginia. All right, we got the clock adjusted. Mooney leans into Bain, a little fadeaway. He tried to kiss in and gets that to fall.
Well, he really did. He had a tough angle to use that backboard, but because he shot it with a soft touch, it just hung around the rim, dropped in.
Pass comes to the corner from Miller. Samuel has the size advantage on Mooney. Passes the skip pass and the shot short from Bain from the left wing. Mooney fakes the three. Culver had it batted away by Noy, but Odiase had it. He lost it. Moretti gets it to Odiase, who's able to lay it in.
Really nice play by Moretti. Came up with that loose ball, and Odiase, a homecoming for the fifth-year senior. Grew up here at Fort Worth, played at North Creek Crowley High School, one of the great programs in the state of Texas. And really the heart and soul of this Texas Tech team.
Down low, Samuel can't finish it. No second opportunity as he is fouled underneath. Like Chris Beard, this is season 3 for Jamie Dixon in his program, which is his alma mater. And they're a team right now, Fran, they've lost 4 of their last 5, and they looked solidly in the NCAA tournament. Now they're needing some wins to get themselves back in.
They really are, and yet they actually control the Big 12 race this week, if you think about it, because they host this Red Raider team tonight, and then Monday Kansas State comes to town, and so they could really do themselves a world of good with a split, and certainly 2 wins would, to me, almost ensure that they'll get a bid to the NCAA tournament as an enlarged.
And when Frog fans think 2 more wins, they think about the OT loss to Kansas and the triple overtime loss the other night in Morgantown.
Very much so. It's been a hard luck year with injuries, transfers. Today they're down to 7 scholarship players.
And the Kansas loss here really kind of seemed to set them in a bit of a tailspin since then.
Absolutely.
1-point lead for Tech. Robinson chases Moretti. Shot clock at 7. Mooney, a screen from Culver, and it's into the arms of Bain. He's got Noy with him, but Bain will try to take it to the rim, and apparently Culver came from behind. Joe Lenardi certainly busy this time of year with bracketology. He has Tech as a 3 seed. Kansas holding serve in Stillwater at 3, and they got TCU as an 11. They've been slipping.
Yeah, Texas really helped themselves today at home with that win over Iowa State. And Oklahoma's going to have a golden opportunity on Tuesday night when the Jayhawks come to Norman. TCU, I think, Mark, still has to do a little work. You know, these are as of today, but certainly TCU's got their work cut out for them this next 3 games.
Bain with the free throws. Well, 5 possessions so far for the Texas Tech offense. They turned it over 2 of those 5 possessions. Punched out from behind by Noy. Somehow Culver gets it back. Culver drives baseline. An open look for Moretti.
Good ball movement that time. I thought they actually overpassed, or Mooney had a chance to shoot that, but they kept the ball moving. Been a point of emphasis the last 3 days because they felt the ball stuck against Oklahoma State. Didn't have the same movement they wanted.
Bain, it bounces around and off. Here's Mooney. Well, you knew they weren't going to shoot as well as they did against Kansas, against Oklahoma State. That was statistically impossible, but they had a rough shooting night. They won it in overtime. Culver has Robinson on him. Faces up. Finds an open Brandon Francis. He's off the bench and is long with his first shot, but Culver the offensive rebound. Goes back up. Justin scores. He had to put that high off the glass to kiss that in.
But you're not surprised.
No.
Because that's what he does as well as anybody in the country. He is really efficient around the basketball.
TCU's offense now in a bit of a drought. In about 4 minutes since their last bucket. Mooney tipped it into the backcourt, but Noy races it ahead, and Miller is. The charge is taken by Tariq Owens. Charge taken by Tech.
Of college basketball is presented by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get back to 100%. And in part by Degree Deodorant, official partner of March Madness.
Almost time for me to go.
Well, what if I
drove me home.
What if we lost track of time?
What if we took a leap of faith?
What if you...
Missed my flight next week?
The all-new RAV4. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, how's the college visit?
You remembered. It's good.
Does it make the short list?
You remember that, too. Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Knowing what's important to you.
It's okay. This is what we've been planning for.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
That's what's important to us. It's why 7 million investors work with Edward Jones.
There's nothing quite as magical as staying at a Disney Resort hotel. So imagine complimentary rides to and from the park, even extra time with your family in the park. And now you can save up to 30% on rooms at select Walt Disney World Resort hotels. So if you're not staying here, just think what you might be missing.
Mira, Marco brought your favorite.
Big Mac.
With bacon. Marco says it's the best thing to happen to Big Mac.
You're too good for the classic?
No, I said Big Mac is the best thing to happen to bacon.
No, you said Applewood smoked bacon was the boss now.
No. The Big Mac is the boss, and the bacon is just happy to be here.
I like this one.
McDonald's Classics with bacon, only for limited time. Is it the best thing to happen to our classics or to bacon? Try for yourself and decide.
Cheesy bacon fried, Dad?
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon.
Hold up! Nelson, you smell great! And no sweat either? Wow! You're the new team captain.
Degree Advanced Protection. Ultimate protection activated every time you move. Degree. It won't let you down.
Texas Tech has the 4-point lead, 9-5. We're early from Fort Worth, and happy to have you with us courtside, along with Fran Fraschilla. I'm Mark Neely. Fran, the last time Texas Tech won a regular season conference title was 1996 in the Southwest Conference. This is a team that went to the Elite Eight last year, lost 5 seniors. Expectations were not that high. What's been the difference this year?
You know, a combination of the growth of the young guys like Culver and Moretti for sure, 2 precocious sophomores, the 2 transfers. Remember I mentioned earlier, they're one-and-done guys. When you look at what Owens and Mooney have brought to the table. And then also, Lawrence Odiasi, I think, has really been a great team leader for this guy. 5th-year guy brought in by Tubby Smith. So they have a great deal of balance. Good bench playing well lately. And just a really high IQ team.
Tech is hit 4 of their first 7 shots, while TCU's only 1 of 6 to start the day. Ready, long look, and Owens screen. He rolls for the lob.
How good is that? Second assist by Davide Moretti, playing the best basketball of his 2-year career at Texas Tech. Not only on fire from the perimeter, but has really come into his own as a playmaker.
Robinson surveys. Where's he going to go? Steps up, pulls up, shoots. There's Bain on the left hand, able to put it right back in.
Really good effort by the junior from Richmond, Indiana. Little zone, I think, right now. I thought we'd see this, Mark, because of the 7 scholarship players. So, again, keeps them out of foul trouble, changes the rhythm of the offense.
Moretti had to quickly get that shot off because Robinson closed out well, and Moretti's missed that 3 from the corner. So Moretti 1 for 3 from beyond the arc, and there's Robinson finishing at the other end.
Smart move. He knows Culver's got 1 and wants to stay in this game. So when he went to his right hand, his weak hand, Culver pretty much gave him the alley to get to the rim. Virtually unimpeded.
That's a Culver 3. It's off the front rim and rebounded off the floor by Francis. Mooney pulls up. Robinson will slow it down. That ball up and missed from Nimhard. That was a chance for TCU to tie. They've ended that drought where they didn't score for about 4.5 minutes. Mooney, quick pass. Good passing for Owens back to Mooney. The 13-footer's up and in.
Perfect. Everybody touched it seemingly. They kept the defense off balance by moving the defense quickly with their passing. And Moody was able to create a driving angle into the lane.
Robinson takes it back middle of the floor.
I like this. They switch Moretti now onto Robinson.
And Robinson has Owens on him, trying to feed down low with Samuels. And Francis touches it last.
Now let's go back and watch this ball movement by Texas Tech. It's a motion offense, which means it's not a set play offense. You're relying on players moving the ball intelligently and cutting themselves. And you saw how they created that opportunity for Mooney to cut right into the heart of the defense.
Just 5 on the shot clock for Texas Tech as Mooney comes out and Corprew has come in. And Mooney's actually going all the way back to the locker room. Kendrick Davis in. He inbounds. Going to have to put it up. Did he get it off in time? He didn't. And a shot clock violation by TCU.
Yeah, and I thought when that ball went to the corner to Nembhard, he held it too long. Didn't recognize that there was a low clock situation.
Nembhard just checked into the game. He did play 38 minutes in the triple overtime game at West Virginia the other night.
Played well.
Had a career high 15 points. Culver, it's by Bain, taking it to the rim. Looked like he was going to reverse it. Instead gives to Corprew in the corner for a Tech 3.
Really nicely done by Culver. He was going to go other side of the rim. The shot blocker appeared. That's a travel. And he kicked it out to that corner. Take a look, Mark. I want you to watch Culver now. He thinks he's got a layup right here. He drives by, and here comes a shot blocker. So he kicks it out. Corprew in the corner, knocks it down. Well done by the Red Raiders early.
Wherever you go, however you go, for energy on the go, it's gotta be 5-Hour Energy. And with 0 sugar and 4 calories, there's nothing holding you back. Works fast, works long, tastes good. 5-Hour Energy. Energy on the go.
It's a good thing you kept your fire extinguisher up to date. Don't worry about the smoke damage. I can help.
What'd you do to your kitchen?
What did you do to my kitchen?
I ain't do nothing. It's easy to, that's not me. I can, like, he has a beard just like me, you know, like, I mean, the beard is pretty dope, you know, honestly.
Are you serious right now?
That's not me.
James, that's you.
This is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, this is nice.
How did you make the dip so rich and creamy?
Oh, it's Philadelphia.
Family recipe.
Can I see it?
No.
New Philadelphia dips. So good, you'll take all the credit.
You got people that need you now.
That's why I can't lose.
Adonis Creed has been challenged by the son of the man who killed his father.
This guy is dangerous.
I'm dangerous.
Own the Blu-ray Tuesday.
Julie means more to me than anything. And I wanted to ask you, before I ask her, may I have your permission to marry her?
You're not just marrying her, you're marrying her whole world.
Get 0 down special financing on bridal purchases with the K Jewelers credit card.
Bon boy.
Bon boy.
She's too good. Brilliant from...
Bon boy.
Bon boy!
Discover the new language of travel. Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences. Rewards reimagined.
NBA doubleheader Friday on ESPN.
Chris and Zubin in the studio for you. All Tennessee, all day. Bonehead, 27.
And 5 threes. Those veteran guards for Tennessee took the freshman guards for Kentucky to school today.
Regular season split is the Vols. Couple scores for you. Houston on ESPN with a 16-13 lead against UCF. No Zion for Duke. They're up early. Mark, back to you.
Hey, Zubin, going back to the Kentucky-Tennessee, the 2 blowouts. Yep. Maybe it's all really preceded by was it basket interference, was it not, at the end of the LSU-Kentucky game preceding those 2 matchups?
It had a lot to do with both outcomes because you knew that Tennessee was going to get Kentucky's best shot in that first meeting at Rupp. And the fact that Kentucky handled them so easily, you knew Rick Barnes' team would bounce back today in front of 24,000. So they got even, I think.
From the baseline, Brandon Francis.
Another one of those fifth-year seniors to transfer from Florida. This is a team that lost all those seniors, but they are still experienced.
See the run for Texas Tech now at 15-4. In transition, Culver back to Francis. Timeout, TCU. Texas Tech has a number of fans here. They're on their feet, and right now their team has opened up a 21-9 lead.
I love my babies, love my boys. Since I'm a truck driver, there's times that I'm gone for like 3 weeks at a time. Even if I'm 3,000 miles away, I'm connected with my boys. Every day I could video chat with them. I could be in the middle of Wyoming. Even if I'm like, way out here, I can still reach my kids, baby. You see me?
Hey, Daddy.
There for you when it matters most. Unlimited on the best network now comes with Apple Music on Us. And a free Samsung Galaxy when you switch. Only on Verizon.
Hey, coming up next over on ESPN, number 5 North Carolina tied atop the ACC. They take on Clemson at Little John Coliseum. Tar Heels have won 10 of the last 11 against the Tigers, but Clemson won the last meeting on January 30th last year. You can watch it on the ESPN app as well. Right now, Texas Tech on a 10-0 run, part of a larger run to open up a 21-9 lead here almost midway through the first half.
Yeah, it's been a clinic. Ball movement has been absolutely outstanding, and that's the ringleader right there, Jarrett Culver, who averages 18 a game, but is the team's best playmaker as well. Last year, he got to learn under Keenan Evans and that veteran group, Justin Gray, Zach Smith, of course. And now, as a sophomore, not only is he one of the best scorers in this league, but on a team without a pure point guard, he is their facilitator.
And he has 4 assists already in this game.
And that's how he plays. And credit to ball movement, not only by him, but as his teammates. They're getting easy looks.
Let's see how TCU regroups after using their first time out of the day. Kendrick Davis. Sealed off there by Corprew and Odiase. Skip pass intercepted by Culver. Edwards. Francis. And right now, Texas Tech offense is clicking on all cylinders.
And how unselfish are they? Making the extra pass to the next pass. And getting layups and lobs right now.
Brandon Francis has scored the last 7 points for Tech.
And the defense has been what we would expect. Outstanding.
Samuel lost it, but fouled by Francis.
Now let's take a look, Mark. Watch the defense. They trap down on the baseline. Nowhere to go. Helium pass. And then watch this. Edwards, who loves to score, he knows the best play is thrown up there to Brandon Francis. And the freshman with a nice read right there, but all because of Culver's ability to get it out quickly.
Well, it seems like a million years ago when Tech lost 3 games in a row. But since then, they've won 8 and 9, won their last 6. Is it possible, Francis, they kicked their defense up to such another high level that they score in transition so much more like we just saw?
Yeah, it's a great point, Mark. One of the reasons they're so good defensively now this time of year is because they've had so many reps at what I would call scouting report defense. How to guard every type of pick and roll they see. How to guard post players. How to guard ISO players where they double team them. And they now have layered their defensive game plans game by game to the point where nothing surprises them. TCU going zone now just to try to, again, change the momentum.
Mooney back in the game. Francis trying to save it on the baseline, but can't. So that's a little bit of a victory for TCU to stop Texas Tech that time down the floor in that zone. And Mooney back on the floor. He made a quick trip back to the locker room, but
a nature call.
That's very
possible.
Very, very possible.
I'll take the heat for that one.
Samuel underneath, trying to fight his way through, and his foul. That's going to send it back to the line, where he hit 1 of 2 a few moments ago. He's only been a 39% foul shooter this year.
Yeah, and I really like this kid. I actually think Kevin Samuel, I wish they could get him the ball more in the low post. You mentioned the free throw shooting, a problem. But in terms of scoring around the basket, as efficient as anybody in this league, and that's a problem right there.
Francis picked up his second foul. He had a nice little scoring stretch, scored 7 straight points for Tech, but now he'll go to the bench with 2 fouls.
And when you miss free throws at the rate that Kevin Samuel misses them, it's like an invisible turnover.
And he does get 1 of 2, splits the pair for the 2nd straight time. 12-point lead for Texas Tech. TCU back in the zone.
They like to play Mooney in the middle and Culver in the middle. You like to put your best playmaker in the middle if you can.
One dribble by Culver. Moretti. 8 on the shot clock. Screen Owens. Nice. Culver down low. Corprew got free. Bain lost track of him.
Great cut. When you play against a zone defense, you want to cut behind it where they can't really see you. And Corprew hiding out on that baseline. And again, that's a 5th assist, I think, for Culver.
It is indeed. From the baseline, Robinson tipped by Samuel. Here's Moretti. He's got Culver with him. Tried to pocket pass. Noy able to get a hand on it and taken back by TCU's Robinson.
Yeah, Moretti got greedy.
Open 3. TCU needed that shot from Noy. They are in a bit of a drought field goal wise. It's been 4.5 minutes since their last field goal. They've missed all 3 of their 3-point attempts. Mooney elects to shoot at that high rainbow is short, but there is Tariq Owens, and that's all you need to know about Tech, how well things are going right now.
Exactly. Mooney thought he got fouled, but you know what? Didn't matter.
Lead is 16 for the Red Raiders. And then Robinson tried to bounce pass down low for Samuel. Stolen by Mooney. Up ahead, Moretti. In a crowd, he's fouled.
Now let's go back and watch. We talk about Tech. Sometimes you got to be a little lucky, but right here, you'll see a little drive and then Corprew working behind the defense. And then Matt Mooney's going to shoot this ball. He thought he was fouled. Ends up short, and who's around the basket? Tariq Owens, who has been a terrific dirty work guy. Now, he's only 200 pounds, so you don't equate dirty work with a guy that thin.
And he's put on weight since he got here from
He
St.
has,
John.
yep. Strength coach John Riley told us that when he showed up last summer, he was 170. Put on 30 pounds over the summer.
And the grad transfer success this year certainly is another big reason why Tech's as good as they are.
No question.
Those 2 players are better at Tech than they were at their other schools. Owens, he's going to take a long 2 and knock it down.
I want to tell you something about him. He makes about 60% of those mid-range and long-range 2s. That is his shot.
Robinson scored the last TCU field goal at the 13:37 mark. The drought continues. Shot too long from Kendrick Davis. Miller trying to save it. But it's out of bounds, staying with TCU. Timeout. Texas Tech off to the big start. They're up 18.
Sesame and ginger. How did Subway know it's what I wanted? Thank you.
After walking 6 miles at an amusement park, Bill's back needed a vacation from his vacation. So he stepped on the Dr. Scholl's kiosk. It recommends our best custom-fit orthotic to relieve foot, knee, or lower back pain so you can move more. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
Hold up! Nelson, you smell great! And no sweat either! Wow! You're the new team captain!
Degree Advanced Protection. Ultimate protection activated every time you move. Degree, it won't let you down.
A road trip isn't just a road trip when you seek retribution against your biggest rival.
The best rivalry in college basketball.
Duke, North Carolina at 6. Michigan State at 8. Next Saturday on ESPN.
From suiting up to dressing down, our in-store stylist will help you stand out at any occasion. Now at Men's Warehouse, it's buy one, get one free on suits, sport coats, and more. Plus, take 30% off clearance. It's time to like the way you look.
You've heard about our warm sand and blue waters. You've heard how they stretch on and on for miles. But you didn't truly believe until you saw for yourself.
Make the big leap, even if you have doubts. Take small steps, especially if they're easy. Wash your beard daily to reduce gray gradually. And be open to new firsts like Control GX, the first and only gray-reducing beard wash. Be the better man you are and look the part.
Suiting up to dressing down, our in-store stylist will help you stand out at any occasion. Now at Men's Warehouse, it's buy one, get one free on suits, sport coats, and more. Plus, take 30% off clearance. It's time to like the way you look.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
Hey, tonight's NBA Saturday primetime game features two of the association's top teams. KD, Steph, the Warriors in Philly looking to bounce back after the loss in Orlando Thursday night. They take on Jimmy Butler and the Sixers. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. You can always watch both on the ESPN app from anywhere. NBA Saturday primetime presented by HyperX Gaming.
Yep, Warriors have lost 4 of their last 6. They'll be without Klay Thompson tonight. Precautionary MRI. They don't think it's serious. But right now, the Warriors are playing bored and will probably do so until they get to about mid-April. Kevin Durant said the only thing that really matters right now is the playoffs, right?
It's interesting to listen to Katie's comments these days.
Yes.
They're very philosophical.
Very pointed.
Yes.
Very honest.
Hey, folks, if you're paying attention, Tech, we went to break. It was 29-11. It's 28-11. They went back and looked at the Corprew 3 from the corner, and they changed that to a 2. Shot clock expired with no bucket for TCU. So it's 28-11. The Corprew, what was a 3, now called a 2. But right now TCU would settle for a 3 that was called a 2 at any time.
Yeah.
They have not scored no field goals anyway in the last 6 minutes.
Well, you're witnessing statistically the best defense in the country today. They give up a little over 0.8 points of possession.
And he turned it over. Miller for Robinson. Miller, skip pass into the corner, and they can't get the 3 to fall from North.
A good challenge by Moretti on the kick out.
13 field goals made by Texas Tech so far today, with 11 of those assisted.
Not a surprise. The emphasis the last 48 hours was on ball movement. They felt the ball got stagnant against Oklahoma State.
Kyler Edwards, no doubt about that. That is a 3 for Edwards, who off the bench has been a pretty darn good three-point shooter this year.
Oh, no question. When you look at Edwards and Francis, they've been very prolific lately for the Red Raiders.
Noy, hands off. Miller trying to adjust, and the crowd has it batted away. Good Tech defense again there.
You see, Culver could be more aggressive now later in the first half with that one foul he picked up early.
Mooney loses it off his knee and out of bounds.
If this wasn't Culver, it was going to be Owens. Take a look. See Owens lurking? Owens going to get that, but Culver said, let me block this one. This team has incredible togetherness and continuity, experience now, and extremely well coached.
TCU is 3 of 16 from the field. We got to find some offense. Davis. Payne with the crossover. Tough shot. There's Miller. And it knocked away by Edwards. And it went off the knee of Miller. Tech ball. Miller not buying the call. Talking with Rick Crawford.
One of the things you and I have noticed this season in the Big 12, Mark, is there's 5 or 6 elite defensive teams in this league ranked somewhere in the top 25. And if you struggle to score on a given night, you are in trouble, because to score on a Kansas State or a Texas Tech, you have to be at the top of your game. And right now, TCU is not.
Corprew in the right place to keep the possession alive for Tech. Francis playing with a couple of fouls, gives it up to Edwards. Moretti makes it a 22-point lead for Texas Tech.
This is what we saw it last Saturday against Kansas. This is a clinic right now on both ends. I think the best thing about Texas Tech is the way they've gotten their offense going in this run they're on.
No question. Here's Robinson, had to adjust his shot, but Miller there. And a badly needed bucket for TCU to end a long scoring drought. Last bucket had come at the about 11.5 minute mark. So they went almost 8.5 minutes without a field goal. See if they can get back-to-back scores. Noy wanting to take it right to the rim. It just lost the handle on it. And there's a long way to go in this game. But right now, not only is this game, but TCU's season, they got a lot to assimilate here.
You know, it's one thing. You take a look at that bench right now. There's only 2 scholarship players on the bench. Lat Mayan has been shut down for the season, the freshman from Australia. So you see Nemhard and Davis right now, the 2 freshmen. And to your point, Mark, you also don't, it's one thing to lose a close game to a Kansas or a Texas Tech and impress the committee, the basketball committee. It's another thing to be struggling late in the year and get blown out.
Went off a triple overtime loss at West Virginia on Tuesday night. The turnaround by Culver. Payne called for the foul. But if TCU loses this game, they're 6-10 in conference with 2 to go. And we've kind of thought that 8-10 can get you into the NCAA tournament in the Big 12, as competitive as it is. But TCU's got a lot of work to do today and for the next week.
They do. And they've got, we mentioned Kansas State, and then they've closed the season down in Austin.
Arnie's got him as an 11 seed, but the one bad loss, which happened the other night in triple overtime. But this is a team that's heading in the wrong direction. They lost 4 or 5 coming in.
Yeah, I thought even early in the season that 8 out of 10 teams in the NCAA tournament would be high, because you tend to cannibalize each other.
Miller spinning around and puts it up short. Caught up this time by Culver. He's going to shoot a long 2. Wow. One team is playing with a lot of confidence, and one team looks like a nerd on prom night right now. There's not a whole lot of confidence there.
No, you're right. And the team that's ahead is like a machine right now. There's a term they use. It's called stone face. Don't react to anything, good or bad. That's what you got right now with Tech.
Okay. Guys? Hey, what time's your flight? I've got an hour until I'm supposed to board. All right, we have things to do. Are there any cancellations? I thought she was your best friend.
Yeah, she was. So they attached a dog's head on the man's body.
Where's your backpack? Come on. You know what? I think I'm going to sew your backpack to your back. What do you think?
At Domino's, we're more than just pizza for $5.99. We're $5.99 bread twists, $5.99 sandwiches, $5.99 pastas, $5.99 chicken, and yes, $5.99 pizza too. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
The rules of luxury. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't use. Use, but don't enjoy. Enjoy, but don't show it.
If you're going to follow one rule, make sure it's this one. Luxury should be lived in. Experience the Infiniti QX50 at your local Infiniti retailer.
This is nice.
Yeah, this is nice.
How did you make the dip so rich and creamy?
Oh, it's a Philadelphia.
Family recipe.
Can I see it?
No.
New Philadelphia dips. So good, you'll take all the credit.
Hey, Maya, what's up?
Hey. So listen, I was taking another look at your overall financial strategy. You're still thinking about opening your own shop?
Every day.
I think there are some ways to help keep you on track and closer to home.
I'm all ears.
How did Edward Jones grow to $1 trillion in assets under care?
Thanks.
By thinking about your goals as much as you do.
Bon boy.
Discover the new language of travel.
Bon boy.
Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences. Rewards reimagined.
Kristen Zubin in the college basketball studio. E-Trade halftime report on the way. KU keeping a little pressure on Texas Tech. We'll show you how they escaped Stillwater. What are you seeing here in the first half?
TCU has no assists, 9 turnovers. They're playing at home. They are completely overwhelmed by the nation's best defense.
Chris Beard and company keeping it going in Fort Worth. Mark, Coach, you see the half.
Yeah, there's Spatola stealing our thunder again.
No, that's astute analysis by Chris Spatola. But he is watching the same game we are. And he is pointed out, as we have, the disparity today.
Well, we got a lot of basketball to play. But I'm always interested, Fran, in the psychology. If you're Texas Tech and you get a decisive win here today, you got K-State playing later tonight, and you're assuming that they're going to know that they need to win then at that point to keep up.
I think it puts a lot of pressure on K-State tonight, especially because Baylor's got that magical touch. KU and Texas Tech will be watching closely.
Baylor's been playing with house money for a while, and it's coming up aces. Badly needed bucket for TCU. 3 for Bain, and they get their first assist of the game as well.
So now if you're TCU, obviously you need stops, but you want to just get this lead down to a manageable number at half. Get it to 12. I'd shoot for 12 if we could.
Going to take some stops. Culver on the drive. That ain't going to get it done.
Nope.
For TCU, a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, this is so good here. Watch. Let's go back and watch that last play by TCU. J.D. Miller finds Desmond Bain, knocks it down. And Jared Culver, I would call him today a quiet assassin. He is so solid the way he plays the game. You know, I mentioned it right before the break, Stoneface. You and I have heard that a number of times. And the big thing with Texas Tech is don't overreact. When things are going poorly or they're going great, Stoneface. Just no emotion, just play. And Culver epitomizes that.
Culver has scored the last 6 for Tech. Now it's passed down low in a crowd. Bain blocked away Odiase. Miller. Noise 3. Good. Back to a 20-point game.
They don't want to match baskets. They need some stops, as you pointed out.
TCU's gotten a couple of threes here late in the half. 3 minutes to play. Culver bounce it around. It won't fall that time. Loose ball. Moretti scoops it up.
They got a new clock. They got to get it out of the corner.
Bain ties it up. Possession arrow will keep it with Tech. Well, you look at what the Horned Frogs have done as far as assists. A couple of years ago, second in all the nation, averaging almost 19 a game. They have 2 so far in the first half.
And give Texas Tech credit because they are locked in defensively. They get the spots in the TCU offense sometimes before TCU does. They are as good a scouting report defensive team as I've seen in the last 5 or 10 years. Everything is to the minor detail.
The detail is unbelievable.
Yep.
You and I have witnessed that firsthand on a number of occasions at Chris Beard's practices the day prior to a game. And Francis may have thought that was deflected, but it's going to be TCU ball with 2.5 minutes to go. See if they can cut into the 20-point deficit.
Oh, look at this. Open shot.
3. There's noise, so suddenly the 3-ball is falling for the Frogs. It's down to 17.
Yeah, that was a complete breakdown right there. A rare breakdown today in the first half by the Red Raiders. And we know Noy can heat up.
Mooney spinning, turning, shooting. Won't fall that time.
I'd speed up if I were TCU. Try to get this last 2 minutes and get 4 or 5 offensive possessions.
Back cut. Noy. He's caught fire here, and a nice quick 8-0 run for TCU, and Tech calls a timeout. 11-3 run for the Frogs. They've cut it to 15.
Well, not happy when you have a big lead and then you break down, and now you've given TCU at least a fighting chance. TCU taking advantage. Take a look right here. Little backdoor cut. And Noy, who can put points up quickly, is starting to get it going.
Tech's largest lead was 23, so that's down to 15. Hey, coming up tonight, it's UFC 235 from Vegas. John Bones Jones defends his light heavyweight title against Anthony Smith. And Tyron Woodley puts his welterweight belt on the line against Kamaru Usman. That's the pay-per-view co-main events. ESPN and ESPN Deportes will have a preliminary fight starting at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. If you'd like to order the main card, go to ESPN.com/UFC 235.
Yeah, I've got my money on Tyron Woodley, Ferguson, Missouri's finest. University of Missouri graduate, All-American wrestler. That guy is multi-talented. Rapper, movie star.
He's got a lot of sources of income these days.
A lot of things going on.
Yep. Noy scored the last 8 for TCU. But there is Owens after Culver missed the driving lay-in.
Remember early in the game, he took the charge and had the block that first 3 minutes. That is what you call an unsung hero on this team.
Well, there's, 9 NBA scouts here today. Culver hasn't done anything to make them disappointed that they showed up today. Foul underneath. But at least TCU is starting to show some life here, Frank.
Yeah, they have. They have. And let's go back and take a look. We're talking about Tariq Owens and all the dirty work he does. He takes charges, he blocks shots, he moves the ball. Transfer from St. John's. He's actually a double transfer because he started his career at Tennessee. Interestingly, Rick Barnes took over, and I thought that would have been a great fit for him. And obviously Tennessee's gone on without Tariq Owens, and Tariq has made his own career doing quite well at St. John's and now here at Texas Tech.
Miller misses the second. So minute 15 to play. 41-25 Tech. Miller staying with Edwards. A minute to play in the half. Culver. Owens has already hit one from this spot today and make it 2.
I'm telling you, that is not an aberration, folks. He is money in the mid-range. He defies analytics. But when you make 60% of your mid-range twos, that's pretty good statistic.
And Tech has scored on their last 5 possessions. Bain can't keep pace off the back rim. Mooney the run out.
I'd hold it here.
Got about a 6-7 second difference, shot clock to game clock.
Yep.
Culver elects to take the 3. And now TCU can hold it for the final shot. Let's see what Miller wants to do. He's driving, putting it up. A miss, deflected out of bounds, and he touched it last. And now Tech will get a chance with 9 seconds left.
Yeah, JD right there. Probably not a great decision. He drove 1-on-2. And what's worse is he'll give Texas Tech a chance to score one more time.
TCU's season low for points in the first half is 27. And that came in the first meeting at Tech on January 28th. 4 seconds. They had a foul, a couple of fouls to give.
Yep.
On Davis, team foul number 5.
Now, the dangerous thing about this, it's smart to be able to do that, except today's one of those days that
they got a short bench.
They got a short bench, so, you know, it's not always the best idea to give those fouls.
And only 3 seconds left, so Chris Beard wants to talk to his team.
Now, it's a great point because they still have a foul to give TCU. So what I always like to do right here, especially with the ball on the sideline, is run a catch and shoot play here. Run a play like almost like a play you'd run for like with 1 second to go in a game or a half, where the player catches it, shoots it in the act, so that if you think you're going to foul him, you better foul him before that ball goes up. 3 seconds is a lot. You can get 3 dribbles out of this. But I would not do that here because I think TCU might foul if that's the case. So let's see if they can run some sort of screener action, catch and shoot.
Texas Tech led by as many as 23. TCU cut it to 15. Now it's an 18-point game with Tech theoretically a chance for the final shot of the half.
This is one of those situations that has to be practiced. You know, you have to know this is like special teams in football. They're going to go put more. I think they're going to readjust that clock. So now that's plenty of time. I would still operate under the same theory here. If I could get some sort of catch and shoot action, I would rather that than allow them to foul me one more time. Let's see what they've got.
Culver, couple of dribbles, trying to fight his way to the rim. And somehow there's 1.1 still left. And I guess the time, I still had 3 seconds in my mind.
Yeah, no, that's a long, I'm telling you, 3 and 4.3 seconds lifetime. Bob here, maybe?
Culver got it off in time. 43-25, Texas Tech at the break, with the exception of a little bit of a defensive breakdown late in the half for Texas Tech. They played pretty well a perfect half.
They really did. And it's not just one guy, although we're going to reward Tariq Owens for his effort in the first half, not just the 7 and 10, but the little things he does as a fifth-year senior to make this team successful.
All about the defense Texas Tech has, but how about what they've been doing offensively? In the first half, they go 8 deep, all 8 score, 13 assists for the team, 6 of those for Culver.
Yeah, and that's the reason they've won 8 out of 9. The defense has been a constant all year. But when Tech has struggled, it's been offensively, not lately. Ball movement, exquisite. And Tariq Owens, a guy not necessarily known for his scoring, the beneficiary of some really good ball movement. Take a look. We talked about this. Mid-range, he's got that shot down. And it's not just the passing, but you have a guy like Jared Culver, who is a high-level player, likely a lottery pick. He can create his own. But really, the story of the first half has been just good ball movement. And once again, we talk about Culver. Remember, he's the best passer on his team. And this team is making 10 threes a game and shooting about 39% behind the arc in the last 9 games.
Texas Tech team, you mentioned Owens. He didn't miss a shot in the first half. 5 for 5, 10 points, 7 rebounds, had an assist and a block in his 15 minutes. So TCU big hill to climb as we start the second half. And Frogs in white. That's, well, Owens not only didn't miss a shot in the first half, he helps TCU with the goaltend here to start the second half.
And a good start. A good start for TCU. They got the ball down low and able to get one back right away. They're going to have to chip away.
TCU trailed by 16 at the half in the first meeting with Tech back on January 28th. Texas Tech able to get the timeout as Mooney gets up to his feet.
I'll tell you, Chris Beard is telling Jared Culver right now, you have to know that TCU just had the possession. And because there was going to be a jump ball, we were going to get it anyway. Instead, he calls timeout. And that's the learning experience for a sophomore. That's coaching, too.
As someone in witness protection, I can't tell you anything about myself. But believe me, I'm not your average consumer. That's why I switched to Liberty Mutual. They customized my car insurance so I only pay for what I need. And as a man, or a woman, with very specific needs that I can't tell you about.
Mr. Landry?
Oh, no.
Hi, Mr. Landry.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Beauty school dropouts, no graduation day.
T-Mobile will do the math for you. Right now, when you join T-Mobile, you get 2 lines of unlimited with 2 of the latest phones included for just $100 a month.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, how's the college visit?
You remembered. It's good.
Does it make the short list?
You remember that, too. Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Knowing what's important to you.
It's okay. This is what we've been planning for.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
That's what's important to us. It's why 7 million investors work with Edward Jones.
Do your thing. Flee that nest. Seize that moment. Find your inspiration. Be extraordinary. Spread your wings and experience the Mazda CX-9 with signature trim and turbo. Mazda. Feel alive.
Each day, Justin chooses to walk. At work and after work. He does it all with Dr. Scholl's. Only Dr. Scholl's has massaging gel insoles that provide all-day comfort to keep him feeling more energized. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
A road trip isn't just a road trip when you seek retribution against your biggest rival.
The best rivalry in college basketball.
Duke, North Carolina at 6. Michigan State at 8. Next Saturday on ESPN.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
Back at Fort Worth, still in the early moments here of the second half. 43-27, Texas Tech out of the Tech timeout, so they have 2 remaining, as does TCU. Moretti had it knocked free by Robinson. And then Moretti commits the foul. Well, going to break, you mentioned that TCU, Culver calls the timeout, and then Chris Beard did some teaching.
Yes, watch. Now, the ball's going to be loose on the floor. Watch at the top of your screen. Culver's going to run to the official and ask for a timeout. Chris Beard said TCU just inbounded the ball. The next jump ball was going to be our ball, our possession. We didn't need to take a timeout. Great teaching moment right there. And don't think that everybody in red doesn't know that Texas Tech has the next possession on a held ball.
Three from the corner, Robinson good. Frogs trying to whittle away here. They've got it down to 13.
Yep, this is manageable. Very manageable right now. A lot of time.
And we're down by as many as 23 in the first half. They generate another turnover thanks to Noy. This could be a pivotal half here, Fran, not only for this game for TCU, but a team trying to snap a skid. They've lost 4 of their last 5.
Well, they're playing for an NCAA tournament bid right now. It's really the bottom line, and you can't do that. You cannot waste possessions.
Staying with Tech. Tech a 3 seed according to Lenardi. TCU 11, but they've been sliding. Team that's 6-9 in conference. Texas Tech comes in with 6 straight wins. They've never won 7 in a row in conference play. They had a 6-game win streak last year in conference, so they've equaled that.
With almost a whole new team when you think of the 4 seniors and Zaire Smith, who's off to the NBA.
Robinson.
Every possession matters for TCU right now.
Bain is short with his shot. Rebound off the floor, bounces out to Robinson. He's going to penetrate, and then Mooney reaches and gets called for the foul. Mooney was not stolen face after that call from the baseline official, Jerry Pollard.
Oh, he thought he got all ball. That Mooney has become a terrific defensive player. We talked to Matt Wells, the new football coach at Texas Tech, and their basketball coach at Utah State is Craig Smith. He coached Matt Mooney at South Dakota. When I was talking to Matt last week, I said, were you this good a defender at South Dakota? He said, no, they didn't want me to foul anybody. I had to score points. A little different here.
It's amazing how easy it is to connect the dots in the sports world, whatever the sport, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
Robinson along two, big rainbow.
That's just not a good shot over a shot blocker.
Well, Tech has turned it over 3 times on their last 4 possessions. Francis's 3 well off the right side.
Yeah, TCU has got to take advantage of this cold shooting.
3, Noy, good. Tech's leaving the door open a crack, and now the lead is down to 10, an 8-0 run for the Frogs.
Well, we saw Baylor come back from 19 down during the week against Texas.
3, Francis trying to answer but can't for the Red Raiders. A chance to make this a single-digit game for TCU. Robinson driving, reversing, and scoring. A pretty play by Robinson. And now Tech may really want that timeout back that they used early in the half. They're only going to have 1 left as they call one.
And they needed that timeout because watch TCU right now. Ball movement. We know this guy. What a release this guy's got. Quad Noy. And then a nice drive by Alex Robinson using that rim to protect his shot on the other side away from those shot blockers.
Well, how about this start to the second half for TCU? They've hit 4 of their first 6 shots. Tech has only attempted 2 shots so far in the half, even though we're over 3 minutes in, and they've missed both.
Well, they've come out flat, and TCU's taken advantage.
A TCU team that is hoping to not watching their season, their at least NCAA tournament hopes floating away before their very eyes. And a good start for them here in half number 2. Trying to get back to the tournament for a 2nd straight year under Jamie Dixon. The last time TCU went to back-to-back tournaments was 1952 and 1953. It's been a while.
Wow.
Well, Quat Noy and Alex Robinson have scored all 10 points for TCU here to start the half. Let's see how Tech responds out of the timeout. Culver spinning, strip. Going to say a foul. He got tapped on the head. They're calling that on Noy.
You don't see Jared Culver out of control that often. That time he tried to turn not much of anything into something. Luckily, he drew the foul.
It wasn't on number 12. It was on 21. So Samuel picked up the foul. 3, Moretti. You can't. You've got to pick him up on the inbounds, don't you?
You cannot do that. That is a great pass by Matt Moody. He caught the defense falling asleep in the opposite corner. Really well done.
Tech gets their first points of the half and the second goaltend of the half already for Tariq Owens.
Watch Matt Moody right here. They're going to inbound the ball right here. He sees that deep corner is open, and Robinson overcommitted to take away the inside, the layup. He thought he was in help position. He wound up giving up the 3.
Mooney gets it back from Culver. Culver wants to drive. Now Owens, who didn't miss a shot in the first half driving. He does miss a shot for the first time in 6 attempts.
They've got numbers if they can get it going.
Quick pass, Spain, but right there was Mooney. Robinson over the top, Samuel. And now TCU's got their offense rolling. The lead is down to 7.
Little simple spread pick and roll. Nobody tagged the cutter, bumped him. Big fella Samuel, easy.
3 left corner, Corprew. And that left corner 3.
He's sneaky.
That's two now from Texas Tech in the half. Moretti and now Corprew.
You're going to be hearing about Deshaun Corprew's junior and senior year. JUCO transfer from the South Plains by way of Virginia. Oh,
Robinson got in the air and just threw it back right to Culver. Numbers here. Moretti, Corprew, quick pass, and Mooney three. Offensive rebound. Corprew crashing the boards. And just as TCU seemed like they were right back in the game, got it down to 7. Tech with back-to-back scores.
You got to make the glue plays, and that's what Corprew did. And Texas Tech changing again, trying to slow down some momentum by TCU. They go 2-3 zone.
Lead back to double digits. Miller. Noy spots up the 3. Owens and Culver going after it for Tech. And Raiders catch their breath. Mooney says, if you leave me open, I'm going to shoot that and knock it down. And now TCU needs a timeout. TCU was down 23, got it to 7, and now it's back to double digits.
Well, that's what good teams do. They got punched in the mouth to start the second half. The Red Raiders have recovered. TCU, little lob, scoring at the rim, the big fella. You need a little more of that, and a little better defense as well.
Tech can move you. The best tech can move the world. De-stress your drive with the all-new 2019 Nissan Altima. Impossibly smart.
So I got an offer on the business, and now I'm thinking I'd like to retire early.
Oh, that's great, Sarah. Let's talk about this when we meet next week.
How did Edward Jones come to manage $1 trillion in assets under care?
Jay?
Sarah, so I have a few thoughts on that early retirement.
By focusing our mind on whatever's on yours.
Now more than ever, don't miss all 4 Walt Disney World theme parks with a special 4-park Magic Select ticket.
Continental tires are built for the road, connecting you to all of life's adventures. Whether you drive to live or live to drive, Continental tires deliver the performance you need to tackle those adventures with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
Coors Light is made with barley, water, hop extract, and corn syrup.
Bud Light is made with barley, rice, water, hops, and no corn syrup.
Good to know.
Hold up! Nelson, you smell great! And no sweat either? Wow! You're the new team captain.
Degree Advanced Protection. Ultimate protection activated every time you move. Degree. It won't let you down. Champ Week, March 8th through the 17th on the networks of ESPN.
Oh, we're getting to it. The Big 12 regular season ends in a week. If for some strange reason it ended a week early, meaning today, this is what the bracket would look like. How fun is it going to be when the 10 seed right now, Oklahoma State, gave the 2 seed and the 3 seed all they can handle this week?
Amazing season. Last year, the Big 12 sent 4 to the Sweet 16, 3 to the Elite 8. Kansas to the Final 4. I've said this to you many times. This league is not as sexy this year. A lot of injuries, graduation, no Trae Young, no Javon Carter. But defensively, it's the best I can remember the league being in a long time. There are some scrappy, tough teams. And after watching 2 of them today.
TCU got within 7, then Tech with an 8-0 run over the last minute and a half.
Culver guarding Robinson right now.
Well, somehow Noy saved that on a...
Look at that defense.
That's a deep 3 from Robinson. Still had 8 on the shot clock. Foul on the floor. It would be on Mooney. See if we get that on. It is on man Mooney.
When Kwat Noy jumps and then he lands 4 feet in front of where he took off, usually somebody pushed him in the back. And I think that's what happened right there. Now, this is a relentless half-court defense by Texas Tech.
Samuel with that screen. Robinson got his defender Corprew in the air. Texas Tech foul.
Tech did a lot of switching on that possession, and when Robinson came off the screen, he got an angle on Corprew and got to the basket, and that little pump fake got the sophomore from Virginia in the air. Now it's Robinson playing his second to last home game of his career, at least in the regular season. I don't think he wants to be back here.
That would mean an NIT. Baby.
Exactly. Transfer from Texas A&M, now the all-time leading assist guy at TCU, 1,000-point-plus scorer.
Even though he played his freshman year at Texas A&M, still all those achievements.
Was recruited to Pittsburgh by Jamie Dixon, and in a circuitous way, they ended up together.
Tech by 13. Here's Noy after the steal. Finds Robinson for a 3 from the corner. Did you like that shot in transition? I wasn't crazy.
I didn't. Not for A-Rob. You know, he's a 34% or so shooter.
You know, that was going to be my point. You're 33%.
Yeah. Can do better.
Mooney. Payne almost lost the dribble. You get high with that dribble, Mooney's going to be gunning for a steal.
The Venus flytrap.
Robinson.
Nice pass.
And Samuel finishes.
Yeah, good deep position by Samuel. They got the mismatch, and Robinson put it right on the big fella. Little zone here.
Culver. Count it. They get that on Samuel. A blocking foul on the freshman.
Yeah, on the other end, Samuel, watch him get deep position on Mooney on the switch. A-Rob drops it right in. That's a no-brainer. And then Jarrett Culver. I mentioned it earlier. I don't even know how many points he has. But Jarrett Culver today has been, and there it is, 10 points. But it's been a quietly efficient game. The assists, the rebounds, outstanding defense. I saw Lawrence Frank. I believe Lawrence Title is the president of the LA Clippers, former NBA head coach. He's in the stands today. Talked to him before the game. I think you mentioned earlier, nine teams here today.
9 NBA scouts on hand. Culver, really the focal point. 11 points now, as you mentioned, but 6 assists, 4 rebounds, block shot, and 4 steals. An emphatic dunk there by Kwat Noy.
Good pass by R.J. Nembhard that time. Little back cut action.
$15 points now for Noy. Moretti leads in. TCU foul.
Well, TCU needs more ball movement against this stingy defense. Take a look right here. Pressure, back cut, finish at the rim by Kwat Noy. And they need a little bit more if they're going to get back in this game.
After walking 6 miles at an amusement park, Bill's back needed a vacation from his vacation. So he stepped on the Dr. Scholl's kiosk. It recommends our best custom fit orthotic to relieve foot, knee, or lower back pain so you can move more. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
Is crispy applewood smoked bacon the best thing to ever happen to the Big Mac or what?
No, the Big Mac is clearly the best thing to ever happen to bacon.
Yeah, well, bacon is done just fine without the Big Mac.
Without the Big Mac, would bacon even exist, Steve?
Yeah, it would exist. Oh, it's like that?
McDonald's Classics with bacon, only for limited time. Is it the best thing to happen to our classics or to bacon? Try for yourself and decide.
Bon boy.
Discover the new language of travel.
Bon voy.
Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards, reimagined.
This is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, this is nice.
How did you make the dip so rich and creamy?
Oh, it's Philadelphia.
Family recipe.
Can I see it?
No.
New Philadelphia dips. So good, you'll take all the credit.
Almost time for me to go.
Well, what if I...
Drove me home.
What if we lost track of time?
What if we took a leap of faith?
What if you...
Missed my flight next week?
The all-new RAV4. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hold up! Nelson, you smell great! And no sweat either? Wow! You're the new team captain.
Degree Advanced Protection. Ultimate protection activated every time you move. Degree. It won't let you down.
Zubin Mehenti in our college basketball studio. The studio update brought to you by Buick. Houston hosting UCF on ESPN. Houston trying to stay the lone one-loss team in America. Corey Davis Jr. to creep him a little bit closer. Taco Fall's not going to score here on the initial attempt, but you get a ball back to a guy 7'6", it'll happen. A reminder, you can catch college basketball live. Presented by Buick on ESPN2 at midnight Eastern. Gentlemen, back to you.
Guess if you host game day, there's a little extra heat involved.
I'd say a little pressure at the Fertitta Center. UCF looking to punch a ticket to the NCAA tournament as well. Johnny Dawkins has a really solid team. That would be a great resume win for the Knights. And a great season so far by Kelvin Sampson's Houston Cougs. Big Dixon.
Yeah.
Big Dixon is
I'll say that very carefully. The Big Dixon behind the basket is a very creative use of that student's time.
Yeah.
14-point lead for Texas Tech. They led by as many as 23 in the first half. Saw that lead whittled down to 7 early in the second half. Always been a big part of that. The game high 15 points. Stumbling, loses it.
Great D.
That goes off Culver.
Yep, that was all Jared Culver because he pressured Noy into spinning in the lane and just Noy lost his balance. That was textbook right there. Again, one of those quiet plays that Jared Culver makes beside the scoring. I want you to watch this now. This is outstanding on-ball defense. Makes him turn. And just rock solid D there by the sophomore from Lubbock, Texas.
Kind of pulled the rug out from under him, so to speak.
Exactly. I like that.
Culver going to get a little time on the bench, catch his breath. After a game so far, he's really put up numbers in just about every category. Robinson 4 to shoot. And Samuel in the right spot. A third try will not happen on Tech ball. Hey, coming up next over on ESPN, number 5, North Carolina tied atop the ACC. They take on Clemson at Little John Coliseum. Tar Heels have won 10 of the last 11 against the Tigers, but Clemson won the last meeting on January 30th last year. You can watch it on the app, ESPN app as well.
Big week for Clemson. They'll host Carolina. They'll host Syracuse next Saturday at the end of the regular season. They'll travel to Notre Dame midweek. So Brad Brownell's team is fighting tooth and nail to try to lock down an at-large bid before they head to the ACC tournament.
The last 4 in as Moretti scores. If TCU falls in this game, they might find themselves in that last 4 in, or heck, maybe first 4 out if they're not careful.
Absolutely. They'll have a big one on Monday night, as we mentioned, with Kansas State. And just want to make a point about Moretti. We talked about him earlier. This young man averaged a little under 4 points a game last year as a freshman on a good team. I think you got to keep him in mind on one of the Big 12 all-conference teams, even if it's honorable mention. He has had an incredible Big 12 season.
Miller fighting. A foul on Owens. To your point on Moretti today, a dozen points on 6 field goal attempts. Coming into this game, he had 128 points in his last 9 games on 59 shots.
Yeah, in conference play, how about this? 13 points a game. You ready for this? Over 50% from 3 and mid-90s from the foul line. Young man from Bologna, Italy, a basketball family. Dad was an outstanding player.
Well, you brought up the topic. We teased it at the top of the show.
Let's throw it out there.
Some of the postseason awards will be coming out soon.
Yep. Now, the player of the year, I'm going to reserve. Now, right now, it's Dedrick Lawson. But a lot of it will depend on who wins the league, and certainly Jared Culver's still in there. I want you to look at the freshman of the year. Now, the reason I picked 2, okay, Devon Dotson and Taylor Horton-Tucker, not only have they had great years, but they played basketball in 4th and 5th grade
together
in Chicago. They were teammates. So I didn't have the heart to give it to one over the other, since they've both been outstanding. So I split it.
You didn't want to create a rift in the friendship.
Exactly.
How nice of you.
Yep.
Scott Drew is your coach of the year. His team's still in it.
Well, there have been some really good coaching jobs, including the job by Chris Beard and Steve Prohm, Bruce Weber, of course. But I think what Scott Drew has overcome this year, given that they lost a boatload of guys from last year, injuries.
And they lose Tristan Clark this year.
And, you know, the country, you and I know this, I don't think the country realizes how good Tristan Clark is going to be.
Their offense went through Tristan Clark, and appropriately so, and then they had to reboot what they were doing offensively. And now they're hitting threes.
Yep.
They offensive rebound the heck out of it.
Oh, they are. One thing they've always done in the Big 12 is offensive rebound, and that's, I would say that's been their calling card, especially this season.
Odiase is going to check back in for Tech.
Well, this has been methodical this afternoon. Chris Beard goes about 8 deep, and they are connected.
Three on the way is short from Noy. Kept alive by Samuel. 17-point deficit here for the Frogs. Looking from the right side off. Owens had it, lost it, but got some help from Mooney.
That time Odiase switched on to Robinson. Robinson wasn't going to think about driving by him. He ended up shooting a shot contested over the big guy's hands.
Culver's going to send it to Moretti in the open 3, in and out. Nice tip by Noy, and here comes Robinson. He's got Bain with him. Robinson trying to get past Mooney. Nicely done to the rim that time. I'd rather see that than that 3 from the corner.
Yeah, and a great change of speed there by A-Rob. He's going about 40 miles an hour, and then he stepped on the accelerator and got it up to about 70.
He's got 13 points, 11 of those here in the second half. Culver. Mooney. His fadeaway. He likes that spot. Samuel goes over the back of Odiase.
Well, we talked about changing speeds, and I like this play as much as you do. Watch him survey, and then turn it on. Now, Mooney wasn't set, didn't get his body weight down, get in front of Robinson. Robinson took advantage of it. Fifth-year senior. He's been a part of an NIT title and an NCAA appearance a year ago.
It's one of those things. That's why it's so fun to watch transition offense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you're the offense, you have the advantage moving. And you don't even have to be that fast. Just change speeds.
That's right. It's like a baseball pitcher.
His mom Darla's here again tonight. He played here at TCU.
And she played here about the same time Jamie Dixon did. So they had a connection in recruiting him.
That's a big 3 for Miller at TCU. get it back down to a 12-point game. They've been as close as 7 here early in this second half, after trailing by 23 in the first.
They're going to have to play as efficiently in the next 8.5 minutes as they have in a long time, because Texas Tech will not beat themselves.
And you can't leave Moretti wide open.
That's
like
amazing.
that.
Yep. That guy is on fire. Over 50% in conference play. And again, conference play is like being in the neighborhood. Everybody knows everybody's strengths.
High rebound, and Moretti back taps that. He gets it to Owens and gets a possession for Tech. Corprew from that left wing. Tipped back out by Owens. Here's Moretti. I don't know if he was trying to find Owens or not, but it went past him, and Mooney was right there, and Mooney scores.
Oh, I think Mooney will take it. I think he was looking for Mooney. That's what we call drive and drift right there. You drive baseline, and the wings opposite drift to the open area, and Moretti threaded the needle.
Robinson around that screen from Samuel. Driving and scoring.
That was nice. He got right between the two bigs. Got that left hand underneath the ball. Little spin move.
And that's, if you're a Frog fan, you want to see that more from Robinson.
Yeah. And he's been solid today. I think the bottom line is the defense for TCU is not good. I mean, right now Tech is just getting any shot they want.
Texas Tech looking for their 7th straight win and their 9th win in the last 10 games. Odiase bumps into Miller, no call, and the bucket.
Great pass by Mooney. Once again, when you drive baseline, you got to know where all your teammates are. And that time, big fella goes right to the middle of the lane, and that was not mental telepathy. He knew that Odiase would be there because they work on that.
10 points, 11 rebounds for Owens, his 3rd double-double. Robinson.
Oh, Miller's got to go right up.
Robinson off the mark with the mid-range jumper, and a loose ball out of bounds. Looking around, it's going to be with TCU. 6:18 to play. 70-53, Red Raiders.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5-Hour Energy Shot. Get back to 100%. And in part by Toyota. Let's go places.
At Domino's, we're more than just pizza for $5.99. We're $5.99 bread twists, $5.99 sandwiches, $5.99 pastas, $5.99 chicken, and yes, $5.99 pizza too. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
We both know you're not just looking for pork chops. You're searching for something more red-blooded. Right this way. You thirst for adrenaline. You hunger for raw power. Well, you've come to the right place. The road is yours. Dig in.
Clutch, no! Clutch, not as done! I'll have to deal with this!
I wanted to play football since I was like 3 years old.
Go!
Combine is make or break for me. I always loved the game. I want to do this forever.
Pipe down, throwing up shots. First we shut them down, then we open up shop. Just in case y'all forgot, they've been trying to stop the wave, but the wave don't stop. Uptown, baby. I was down, but they see I'm up now, baby. Head high, cause I'm holding up my crown.
Not sure you have the right credit card? Know which one to get? Turn to the nerds. Dinner's on me, get it? Oh. The experts at NerdWallet make it easy to make smart money moves. Compare and find the best credit cards for you at nerdwallet.com.
This is cellulose acetate, a plant-based material that's not only extremely durable, but also quite flexible, making it ideal for Warby Parker glasses, which, by the way, start at $95, including prescription lenses. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com. Oh yeah, about those prescription lenses. Warby Parker glasses come standard with custom-cut polycarbonate lenses that have been treated with scratch-resistant and anti-reflective coatings. Nice. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
Not sure you have the right credit card? Know which one to get? Turn to the nerds. Dinner's on me, get it? Oh, the experts at NerdWallet make it easy to make smart money moves. Compare and find the best credit cards for you at nerdwallet.com.
Well, Texas big to come down the stretch here. I want you to watch Matt Mooney. Now, he knows they have a dribble penetration offense. So when he drives baseline, it's not blind. He may have a shooter in the other corner, but his big man is always going to circle to the top of the restricted arc. And you see that? It looks like a blind pass, but it really isn't, because he trusts that Odiasi is always going to be there, Mark. And that's what we call a bailout right there. If he can't shoot it, he's going to look to dump it inside, maybe weak side corner, weak side wing. And they've really gone to town on that play all night long.
Balanced scoring for Texas Tech as they lead it by 17. We have 6:18 to play.
One of the reasons they get those drives is because TCU forces baseline. So the ball is always going to the baseline. That's when you've got to have a plan.
Good stuff from Samuel. Well, there's still 6 minutes left. The Tech lead is 15. And TCU get enough stops to get the offense spurred up. Get right back in this game. Owens rolls. Edwards drives. Owens the tip. Miller the rebound off the floor.
And you got to have a come from behind offense now. You have to play quickly.
Mooney punched it out, but Noy was right there, but can't hit the bunny. But then they get a break when Owens and Edwards can't figure out who was going to get the rebound. It's back over to TCU.
Did you notice Noy caught that ball and shot it before he even looked at the rim? That's why I missed it. But when you're down 15 now, you have to have a comeback offense, which means you have to play a little quicker, shoot it a little quicker, and throw caution to the wind because you have to manufacture more possessions. Problem is you're playing against one of the best, if not the best defense in the country.
Robinson leads in. Culver snatches the rebound.
And the flip side for Texas Tech now, Mark, is, yeah, you don't want to stop looking to score, but you can utilize that motion offense and get some touches and use some clock.
Mentioned that motion offense of Chris Beard, which, of course, he dates back to his time on the Knight staff.
No question. 10 years with Bob and Pat Knight. That will that's a clinic in and of itself.
Culver aggressively.
Stone face. But inside, he's beaming.
Noy long with the three. Mooney, Francis, Owens. He lost the handle on it. Trying to repeat what Culver did. That's gotten a little bit sloppy.
Oh, they're still not getting back. Francis leaked out, but Garrett Culver has a good sense of the game and said, nah, we're going to slow it down. And Chris Beard's going to orchestrate and puppet master from the sideline.
Punched out by Noy. But then there's Culver. They get it right back.
It's unbelievable. Culver is a high IQ basketball player. Only a sophomore, and likely his last year on this Red Raider team.
You mentioned that this is maybe the best defense in the nation. The way they've been playing offensively the last several weeks, is it safe to say they've been the best team in the Big 12 the last 3-4 weeks?
I don't think there's really any argument. Absolutely.
Owens got his opportunity that time and finishes it with the flush.
When Iowa State was really good early in the year, it was because they were good on both ends. Defense has gone away a little bit. This offense has gotten better to match that suffocating defense. A lot of red and black in this building today.
They're up on their feet with this 11-2 run for Texas Tech. The Robinson drive. He finds the rim and kisses that in. He's done that very effectively here in the second half.
And because Tech switches, he's had the opportunity to drive some of those bigs. Done a good job.
It ended a 3-minute scoring drought for TCU. And Tech intent to eat some clock. Kick to the corner, open three, Francis. In and out. Owens battling. Keeps it alive, right back to Francis. This time he nails it.
How about that? And who kept that ball alive? Tariq Owens. That's good basketball right now.
The lead is 20. TCU will use their final timeout.
Well, it's been methodical, but there have been some highlights. And usually the guy that supplies them is Jared Culver. Throwing it down.
Wherever you go, however you go, for energy on the go, it's gotta be 5-Hour Energy. And with 0 sugar and 4 calories, there's nothing holding you back. Works fast, works long, tastes good. 5-Hour Energy. Energy on the go.
Guys? Hey! What time's your flight?
I've got an hour until I'm supposed to board.
All right, we have things to do. Is there any cancellations? I thought she was your best friend.
Yeah, she was. So they attached a dog's head on the man's body.
Where's your backpack? Mom. You know what? I think I'm going to sew your backpack to your back. What do you think?
Oh, it's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can tell you, but it's like to. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Not much here, except the usual.
What if we spice things up a bit? Alexa.
What if we turn it up a notch?
What if we go off the map?
The all-new RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
Hold up! Nelson, you smell great! And no sweat either? Wow! You're the new team captain.
Degree Advanced Protection. Ultimate protection activated every time you move. Degree, it won't let you down.
Hey, Zubin Mehenti in our college basketball studios over on ESPN. Aubrey Dawkins, UCF, they were the preseason AAC favorites. But check this out. Houston just tied it up at 58 apiece. Kobe White's been playing out of his mind for North Carolina, 2.5 minutes away. On ESPN, after they're done with that Houston game, they'll take on Clemson. Clayton Custer, it's senior night. He and Marcus Towns will be honored. Guys, you remember the kind of march they had last year, right?
Absolutely. Who could forget that, huh?
Amazing, yep. And that's why this year, while we think there's some great teams in college basketball, and there are, you never know when you get into the NCAA tournament.
Kansas held serve today. Iowa State did not. They lost. Tech's going to hold serve here. They're going to be 12-4 here shortly. And one of two things is going to happen. Either K-State wins later tonight to beat Baylor to tie Tech, or if Baylor wins that, Tech's up a game with 2 to play, and there are 3 teams 1 game behind them.
Yep, it's been an amazing race. And somehow Kansas, I think they're going to figure out a way to get a piece of that title. Maybe not. Maybe this is the year, but
Miller banked it in.
You saw that, right? You saw when the ball was in the air, the angle we had. Yeah, it was going left, so I think he's going to bank this.
Texas Tech with a win here. It'll be their 7th straight, so that'll be their longest conference winning streak since they've been in the conference, which dates back to '97.
I think to add to what you asked earlier, they have been the best team in the Big 12, at least for the last 3 weeks. Going back to that loss at Kansas, They have regrouped, and obviously they've been outstanding. And they do it on both ends.
3 in and out for Nembhard. Well, Texas Tech was 11-7 in conference last year. Finished tied for second behind Kansas. This is going to be their 12th conference win. They've never won that many games in conference play in the Big 12.
And I'm looking out there. They only have one starter who played on that team last year, and that's Jarrett Culver.
Well, they lose Keenan Evans, Zaire Smith, Zach Smith, and others. Here's a Francis 3 with the shot clock expiring. Final minute here in Fort Worth. And another methodical win for Texas Tech. Miller, good with the 3. And now TCU is going to have work to do. They're going to be 18-11 losers of 5 of their last 6 and 6-10 in conference.
And Kansas State comes in Monday. Meanwhile, Red Raiders will host Texas in Lubbock on Monday night. Big Monday. I hope he shoots this. Don't take a violation. I like this. Yeah.
Beret says that he's going to take it to the rim, loses it, but it's...
I don't know why a team gets up by 15 or 20 and they feel the obligation to take a shot clock violation just because they don't want to score again. If the clock is on, try to score. If the clock is not on, hold the ball out when you have a big lead.
You just don't want to do a lob to another walk-on teammate like what happened with Texas Tech.
We don't want that to happen tonight. No, we don't.
Corprew steps up, gets it off in time, and Texas Tech hits the 80 mark. 81-63. Don't forget Missouri Valley Conference coming up. Bradley, Loyola, Chicago. After that, you got K-State, Baylor. So a lot of great hoops still to come here on ESPN2. 81-66. Texas Tech wins their 12th conference game of the season. And Chris Beard, his team, for the moment anyway, alone in first place. For Franz, for Sheila, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us and sending to the studio. Zuba Mahite and Chris Patola, fellas, another dominating performance by the Red Raiders.